Welcome back to the In My Thoughts podcast. This is episode 31, and the last couple of days I've been helping my parents outside. Our parents are like bad hoarders. Not really not hoarders to the point that our house is like a mess or anything like that. But like the garage and the basement was trash. Like the basement had a flood, so we had to move everything around and stuff like that. So it was messy. We never got a chance to clean it, and of course we just threw everything in the garage. So the past couple days we've knocked out the garage. We're knocked out the basement, and my thing is that I always like to be like reassured on certain things. And when I'm spending this time with my parents knocking out this work, we're talking. Of course, we're going through old stuff, so we're reminiscing about old times and stuff like that, and going down memory lane. And the one, like, I already knew this, and like I said, I love confirmation. I love to reassure myself on certain things. But when I was talking to them and hanging out with them while we're doing this work, I just realized my parents are regular, and what I mean by regular is like they're regular humans like you and me. And like I said, I already knew this, but when I reassure that in my mind, it just makes me feel a little better. Like what I mean is that back in the day, sometimes I wouldn't have certain conversations with my parents 'cause I always felt like I was gonna get judged, or I didn't know how that conversation was gonna be. I didn't want no one to get upset or anything like that, so I just didn't have certain conversations just in general on a couple, nothing crazy, but just various topics. Because sometimes I just wouldn't talk about it, and I just hold it in myself. 'Cause like I said, I didn't want not necessarily repercussions, but I just didn't want to. You know those conversations you don't want to have with your parents. Let's just leave it at that. And so, like I said, I keep them bottled up. Probably talk to the homies about it, but my parents, like, they just didn't know that part of me. So now that I'm older, it's like everything's out in the open, and everything was always out in the open to a certain extent. Like I never had an issue to talk to our parents something that I really needed to talk to them about, and when it's on a serious tip. But now it's not that I'm older, and not like of course they're still my parents, but now it's like a not I don't want to say like a roommate type situation, but it's like that type of relationship is now transpiring even more. Like I'm not feeling judged when I talk to him anymore. I'm not feeling any animosity when I talk to him, 'cause now it's just like whatever. And so basically what I'm getting at is that sometimes it's like with money, right? Parents always want to tell you like save your money, do this, don't spend it. But like going through my the garage, like right now I buy a whole bunch of Funko Pops. That's like my thing. Funko Pops. I have them stacked up in my room. And like my parents don't bother me about it. Like sometimes they'll be like, "Yo, you got more XYZ, you should," but they're not like on me or anything like that. But when I was in the garage, I remember my dad's like huge basketball card collection. That was his thing, and I'm seeing bins and autograph stuff. Like when I'm telling you that this basketball collection was serious, like this was a serious thing. So like I just be like, man, when you was my age, you did this. Leave me alone. And like I said, it's never nothing crazy or anything like that. Like they're like yelling at me or anything like. It's never that. But it's just like the things that I do that sometimes my parents might question me on are the same things they did. So I don't really feel nothing whenever we have a conversation, we say anything. Cause I gotta remember at the end of the day, they did what I'm doing. They of course they know from experience, so they want to tell me beforehand so I don't go down the same path. But also like if I do something that they don't approve of, they probably did it already. Like they know what's up. So I just feel better now when we talk, because it's just like you're regular, I'm regular. If I'm trash, you trash. Like and it's just one of those. Because now it's like I guess when I growing up, especially when I was a kid, it was like a certain type of pedestal. And of course, I always put my parents on a certain pedestal because they're my parents and my family. But it was the do as I say because I know best, and I don't want to say it's necessarily a don't talk back, but of course they always let me express myself. But there was always like that line there. But now it's not that we're on the same playing field, but it kind of just feels that way. It's just that, listen, you do you, because when I was a kid, I did what I wanted to do, and these are repercussions from it. And my parents never strayed away from telling me their experiences and the things that they did wrong or anything like that. But sometimes there's always just like that tag on the back of it, like, so you can't do this, and of course they're just trying to protect me. But I just feel better now. It's just like, man, whatever. Not like I said, it's not whatever, but it's just like it's just cool to know that my parents were regular teenagers, regular young adults, regular like they do the same stuff. Even the stuff they do now that they don't really like that they do, or certain moves that they make, they're honest about it. They just tell me, and it's like it's cool to know that they're still messing up too. And like I said, it's not like we're messing up, but everybody makes mistakes. Everybody moves a certain way that they probably don't really like when they really look at things in hindsight. But we're all doing stuff. We're all still learning, and it just makes it easier to see that in front of you. It's like my parents are still learning like I am. They're 40, 50 plus, stuff like, not plus, but I'm just saying like they're older, and they're doing the same things. They're still learning new things. They're learning how to move, and like life is just like a giant game of learning and processing information and working off of experiences and the experiences of others. So then it's just cool to realize is that at the end of the day, I might be down on myself on some things I do, but so my parents are too. Like everybody in the world is always doing the same thing. So no matter what, is that certain people that you look up to, they're not perfect. And like I said, I always knew this, but just to re-see certain things. Like when we was going through the garage, my dad was saying, look all this money we spent on like rugs. Like my mom has a whole rug collection that are probably ruined because they've been in the garage, stuff been on top of them. I think we had like a mouse get in there, so some things have ripped up. You got look at all this money we spent. So when they talk about money with me, it's just like they show me, but look what I did. I did this wrong. When I was your age, my credit was shot because I bought this car. Like their experiences are open. So now it's like when I do certain things, it's like it's not, like I said, it's not okay, but it's cool to realize is that it's not like I'm doing anything out the ordinary. They did it, other people do it, and it just reassures myself is that I may make mistakes, but it's not like people don't make mistakes in general. My own parents do stuff that they tell me that they don't like. Like the other day, I'm not going to exactly say what happened, but my dad said that he did something, and just looking at hindsight, it just wasn't the best move that he made. And now he's dealing with the repercussions of that. Like I said, it's nothing crazy, but it's just cool to realize. And at the end of the day, it's like back in the day, certain conversations wouldn't be had because I didn't want to be judged or anything like that, or I didn't want them to feel some type of way about me, or just think that I'm not intelligent enough to make the proper decisions when I'm problem solving. And it's just cool to be like, you know what, Rob, if you mess up, it's cool, because at the end of the day, you're going to learn from it. You're going to move better. And anybody around you who might judge you or stuff like that, they probably got something in their closet that they don't really want to speak on or anything like that. And it's cool to see that my parents have their trials and tribulations too, that I can see up front. And of course, now that I'm older, I can understand it a little bit more. So of course, when I was younger, they would tell me stuff, but of course, me, that go out in 1 year out the other, because I didn't actually understand exactly what things meant when it comes to, just property, finances, just any problem solving that you need to do as an adult. When you get told when you're like 10 to 15 range, at least for me, I heard it and I had the conversation, but at the end of the day, it didn't really sink in or anything like that, just because of the fact of that's still mom and dad and they know best. Like I remember when I was buying my first car, certain things I didn't necessarily agree with, and live and you learn. But at the end of the day, it was because I was following my parents and how they think I should have moved. And at the end of the day, certain things that I did in that time was right, but certain things I did was wrong. And you just live and you learn. And at the end of the day, no one's perfect. Everybody has their thing. Everybody learning with you. So just realize at the end of I keep on saying at the end of the day, I gotta get a new thing. But just realize that no one's perfect. Everybody's still learning. Everybody's just moving off of experiences and what they see from other people to make the best decisions. And that's all you really can do at the end of the day. But it's cool to realize is that no matter what, I love my parents to death, and they show me their trials and tribulations. It's not something that's being hid. It's right on Front Street, and I can ask about it. They'll answer the questions and stuff like that, and we'll have an open-ended conversation. And it used to not be like that. So I just appreciate it more now, because now I can see it's like, listen, I'm an adult. You're an adult. You've been around a little bit longer than me, but we're still working. We're still learning. We're still processing. We're still doing what we need to do to get to the next level. So it's just dope to see. Is like it's not that that barrier. I guess what I was trying to say all along, that barrier that used to be there, it's not there no more. I'm comfortable now. Now, when I get older and they tell me to get out, well, not when I get older. I'm 25 now, so I know there's another layer of conversations I'm probably gonna feel some type of way about having. But right now, I feel good, and it's cool to realize is that yeah, they're my parents and they just want the best for me, but it's not like they didn't do the same things that I'm doing. So there is no more I'm disappointed or I'm mad. Like, man, you did the same thing I was doing. And it's okay because at the end of the day, we're going to get through it. We're going to learn and we're going to remember at the end of the day. So when a new situation comes up, we're just going to move better. But it's just cool to realize that everybody's on the same playing field now. And of course, we were always on the same playing field, but it looks different now. I'm comfortable. I can be honest with myself and be honest with my parents and have real dialogue because it's not like, Rob, I can't believe you did this. You're grounded. Or, Rob, oh my God. It's just like, listen, you did that. You got to handle it. You're a man now. And those conversations are the ones that I really take with you. Of course, the conversation you have when you're younger, when you're getting in trouble, it's like, yeah, I know what I did wrong and there's consequences, but I'm really worried about the consequences more than what I did and how I can move better. Now that I'm an adult, there is no, I guess there's always repercussions, but there is no, oh my God, you're grounded. I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about, okay, as a man now, I'm dealing with this. How do I move better? So that's really all I wanted to talk about today. It just feels good to realize that everybody's on the same playing field, no matter your age, no matter what you're doing, what status you're on. We're all the same. And like I said, I knew this, but it's always good to be reassured about it. But that's really all I wanted to get at today. It was just on the top of my head because I was just talking to him about a couple of things. So, but that's it. So, like I always say, if this is your first time listening or you're a reoccurring listener, I appreciate you. And remember, at the end of the day, your thoughts are your thoughts, and no one can tell you that your thoughts are wrong. And I'll see y'all the next time I upload. Peace.